Just do business.
Was it like, so like, when you purchased your first home, you moved out of there and then refinance?
I did move out. I was able to keep that and buy another one, and I put my brother in it. My brother rented it for me. But I learned first I learned from my mom with her house.
Wow.
I stayed with her and I built her basement up. And so I changed the dynamics of the house and shot the value up.
Wow.
And she was able to sell it. We stayed close to the college area. She was able to sell it to a family, a kid, parents from, I think from Chicago. And her son had got accepted to Morehouse. She bought my mom's house and turned it into like an 8-bedroom college rental. And when I seen her do that, something just clicked in my head. I was like, oh. And she was renting out each room, doubling her mortgage. So it just gave me that push, that instant, like, man, you can do this. And that's when I started.
Wow.
And it worked out for me.
Wow. So what do you think? So your mom and meeting those business people triggered that entrepreneur?
Yes, and my grandfather. Me and my grandfather, we had a good relationship. And we used to ride around all the time, go out to eat, look at the city, and think of business. So he was like, grandson, what kind of business you want to open? My first thing was a barber shop or a car wash, the smallest. He used to take me to funeral homes, different things. We used to find different things. And so we'll go to distressed areas, Bankhead, Bolton Road, University Avenue, and look at homes. We'll ride through them. And eventually, I just started buying them. My first house, as a total rental that I bought, my grandfather and my uncle Johnny Mims, helped me acquire it. And once I got
that's love right there.
From then on, it was just like, this is what you need to do. So I set a little small goal where I want to do at least 3 houses a year. And I'm still really doing it. I love to do more, but with doing 3, because I also was still working.
Well, got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And and having a family, so.
Wow, got you. That's like the secret. That's like, so you was working like a regular 9 to 5?
Yeah, I was working
so you like a 9 to 5
job.
millionaire.
Yeah, I was working a full-time job, but I was investing all my money. Investing.
Ooh.
Right.
Like, now, you said something about Bankhead. And, like what I'm seeing in Bankhead now is that like you got condos, you got new townhouses,
$1 million properties. Right.
But you was there before everybody.
Right. We seen the vision early. Now I didn't know it was gonna take the flip that it did.
Ooh.
But like I say, my grandfather, my uncle always told me that money in land is equal or better than money in bank. Ooh. So when the properties was distressed, $20,000 and $30,000, he used to always tell me, buy one. We'll fix it up. We'll take the time to fix it up. You can always get your money back. And I did it, and eventually it added up. Now the pandemic is what changed Atlanta. Well, it changed me.
Break that down.
When the pandemic came, everything that was over there in that area, value just shot all the way up. So something that you paid $30,000 for was worth $200,000, and it was just like a blessing, a dream. It was just like you woke up to money, and I learned how to work that. So during that process, I sold a lot of my houses to get liquid, but I also learned something else from a great realtor friend. 1031 exchange. So I sold a lot of properties, but at the same time I bought another property in another area, and I just took a little money for myself, to be able to live, and just kept reinvesting.
So for like the youth growing up, right? You said a number. You said 1031 exchange for the youth that want to get into real estate. What is that? What does that mean?
Well,
like,
it's really like a tax break. It's
okay.
selling one property to acquire another property. Instead of selling it, you getting the money and repurchasing. So it's almost like a trade-off. And it saves you on your taxes, and it helps you continue to go up the ladder.